Some dude on his stags was getting a fly to whatever with his pals. Got a bit kind of giddy and decided
Yeah.
to slap an air hostess's arse. And she said, "Don't you dare! Don't do that again." And
Yeah.
guess what happened next?
He did again.
No, he didn't do it again. He apologized, and she went forward with it. Took it to court, right? Sexual harassment,
Yeah.
sexual assault, and the judge said you could be looking at jail time here. It's oh here's what I said. It's never okay to hit a woman. Okay, we're calling it hitting now. He hit her. It was from what I heard, it was a very light tap. It wasn't a belt like you give your wife.
Because we've talked about feminism before,
We must have.
haven't we? The feminazis.
Yeah.
I don't know if that video was put up actually. I think we decided not to air that conversation. This one probably won't make air either, to be honest.
They were talking to some guy on the radio yesterday. He was, he was sexist, and he was also a little bit anti-British for some reason. I missed the start of the conversation, so I don't know how that happened. But he said something. What's the difference between an Essex girl and an Essex boy? And the host, he was like, I don't know. What's the difference? And he says the Essex girl has a higher sperm count. And the host was like, oh, so that's the mentality we're dealing with. And I was like, okay, sexist, yeah, everything wrong with it. What's a funny joke?
I don't know if you saw this video on BuzzFeed, where a man and a woman walking down the street, two actors paid by a charity to walk down the street, and as they walked down the street, they got into an argument, right?
I've seen this.
And it's sort of physical. And in the video, when the man does it, women coming towards him,
Straight away.
you won't do that again, or I'll call the police. And when it happens, when your woman is, and she properly smacks him across the head and pushes him into a railing. All he did was kind of, obviously he shouldn't have put his hands on her, but he did that to her. He put his hands on her face. Didn't slap her, just literally placed his hands on her face and kind of pushed her backwards. Kind of like moving her towards the railings, like trying to stop her from walking off.
Yeah.
And people were all over, but as soon as she started slapping him and pushing him into the railings and hitting him, people were laughing.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know what I mean? There is a double standard there.
Hugely, yeah. And the thing
But
is,
then
the first scenario, or was it first or second? The one where she's fighting him. That was the second one.
Yeah.
I've seen that 100 times more than I've seen a man attacking a woman in public.
Yes.
I can't remember the last time I've seen a man attacking a woman in public. But women
I've
slapping
never-
men and shoving men and screaming at them like that.
Oh yeah, they do it all the time.
And people
Yeah.
just smirk at it.
Women are always and women always talk about it, and it's like a source of pride for them as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'll knock the bollocks out.
Yeah, you hear them joking about it. Like you're in the queue in the post office and she's saying, oh yeah, no, you came in drunk last night. I gave him a few slaps in the head. Told me better not do it again. And I'm always there like, yeah, that's cute. Like if the genders were reversed, would everybody in the queue be laughing?
Killers.
Could be killings over it.
Yeah.
Oh, my wife came home drunk last night. I gave her a few slaps. Told her better not happen again. It takes a completely sinister tone when you change the genders. And yeah, I know, like this conversation we're having, if a feminist happens to watch this, which isn't going to happen, but if she did happen to watch it, she'd probably be sitting there going, those two misogynistic scumbags, the way they're talking about women. It's a fact. Look, I love women. I can't remember the last time we talked about it. Oh, there was a woman in the street, wasn't she, in a video, getting in somebody's face.
It was that red-headed cunt. That fucking red-headed bitch. Oh, she hates men's rights groups.
Oh yes, that's what it was. That's what it was. Yeah. She was like an anti-masculinist.
Yeah.
Is masculinist right? Yeah, feminists, masculinists.
She was basically just went on a mad one.
Yeah, and again, if the genders were reversed, if that was a group of feminists getting attacked by a man, it would have been on the news.
She says that it's a myth that women are better caregivers than men, and that myth is perpetuated by men, so women are forced into the home. And it's like, no, that's not true. Naturally, a woman is a better caregiver. I'll give you one solid example. You can feed a baby without needing any money as a woman.
Yeah.
When you're a man, you can't milk yourself. Any job like if a man works in a creche, you're always taken aback by it. Like, really? You're working in a creche?
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, very sexist.
I love kids, not in the way that obviously there's the joke in there. Oh yeah, you love kids, don't you? That kind of thing. But I could never do something to harm a child.
What about
Don't-
you could save 2 children by harming a third? Would you do that? Would you harm a kid then?
It depends on the kids.
Right.
Like, who am I saving here?
You're saving 2 kids that are related to you, and the kid you're hurting isn't related to you, but you know is gonna grow up to marry one of your kids and beat them every night.
Oh yeah, I'll kick that kid in the face.
Yeah?
Mm.
Me too.
Yeah. It's like that thing of, could you go back and punch baby Hitler and kill him?
Yeah.
But, you know, what if you got back and he was a cute little baby and he had the little moustache already? He was there. You looked at me and went, ah, jeez, little Hitler's kind of cute. Would you still kill him?
Yeah.
Monster.
No, hold on a minute. No. I think the world needed Hitler. We needed him. He unified us.
That is definitely not making the cut.
Did you hear about a guy on a flight? I think it was Australia, okay? And he takes a seat, and then next of all, no, sorry, there was 2 young lads. I think they were 8 years old. 2 lads, and he sits down beside them. I don't know whether it was free seating or tickets or whatever, but he sat down, got out his magazine, put his bag away, and what have you. Next of all, an air hostess came along and said, would you mind swapping with this lady down here? And he said, well, yeah, that's no problem. I'm not particularly attached to the seat. Why? What's wrong? And she said, well, it's not that there's anything wrong, but those 2 boys are actually travelling unaccompanied. There's nobody with them. And the mother specified that she didn't want a man sitting beside them. I think if it was me, I would have just got embarrassed and I would have moved seats and I would have said nothing about it, apart from when I got home and said it on Facebook. But he kicked up a stink. Now, he didn't kick up a stink on the plane. He didn't act like a bitch. He just changed seats and he went to where he was going, and then he started making phone calls. He said he felt that small. He felt like essentially he was being tarred. All men were being tarred. Every man is a potential child molester.
That comes back to the what we were saying earlier about the YesAllWomen thing of, like, you know, not all men are going to rape. To me, that's, and I'm sure to most normally functioning men, the idea of rape is sickening. It annoys me that, like, there's this insinuation that, well, you know, men are going to rape.
It's in his nature.
There's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah. You put a woman beside a child, she's going to look after it. Put a man beside a child, he's going to rape the ass off it.
It's also that thing of,
human nature.
When a male teacher molests a student, you know, he's this dirty paedophile and blah, blah, blah. When a female teacher molests a student, everyone kind of just goes, good man. And
I have to admit, that's
the
one
reaction.
situation where I have to say that I feel the same way. If my, let's say, 16-year-old son had sex with a 30-year-old female teacher, I'd be like, you know, disgusted and all that, when I'm supposed to be disgusted. But generally, I'd be like, listen, fair play. Living the dream, young man.
But it's also the thing of, was he willing? Like, did she force him, and there's also always the thing of when she coerced him, she tricked him, she made him do it, blah blah blah. Innocent young. But if I had the opportunity to crack one of my teachers out, and I'm thinking of a specific teacher as well when I say that. I'm not saying, like, you know, if I had a teacher. I'm thinking of one very, very specific teacher in my head right now. If I had the opportunity to destroy that woman.
It wouldn't take much coercion.
Jesus Christ. She would literally just have to say the words, I was thinking me and you, whoa, they'd be down. They would be down. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I'd be finished before she said, to be honest with you. Whoa.
Finished before you start.
So, but then, you know, maybe they were tricked. Maybe I'm wrong.
I also, whenever I do hear a story about a male teacher abusing a female student, I'm very wary of the wording of the story. About how much power the journalist gives to that teacher. Do you know what I mean? Oh, her young mind was perverted by his fucking controlling, and he has this, he's an authority figure, and this, that. The way they go on and on and on about that stuff. I'm not defending pedophiles when they're pedophiles, but if we're talking about a man in his late 20s with a girl who's 16 or 17,
Yeah.
he's not in the same category as the likes of Ian Watkins or Stuart Hall or any of these fucking guys who are coming out of the woodwork now. Different category altogether.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. You have to look at the age. Like, a 16-year-old is fully aware of that side of life, and they know what's happening. They understand. And I do think that discretion should be used, particularly in cases where it's like an 18-year-old lad and a 17-year-old girl.
Well, totally,
I mean,
yeah.
Come on, you're not a rapist. You're not. No way.
No, you have to allow for grey areas.
There's a difference between hopping out of a bush and fucking. I don't know why I sniggered there when I said that. There's this mental image of a lad, like the Hamburglar hopping out of a bush with a hard on, just going, yeah. And obviously, we're not trivialising rape, but just that mental image just made me giggle for some reason.
Trivialise away, my friend.
Yeah.
People are too serious about rape these days.
Yeah. No, not saying that. Not saying it. I'm not. It was about to come out of my mouth, and it's gone back in, and it'll never be uttered when we're broadcasting.
Oh, Jennifer Lawrence, am I right in saying she's
the
made a
rape scream? She made a rape.
Anyway, yeah, so for anybody who's still watching this and who doesn't know this already, Jennifer Lawrence met the director of Gravity, Alfonso Cuarón, and she gave him a hug and let out a little scream, which she referred to as her rape scream. She said, "I broke out my rape scream for you," and I just think it's a cute little thing she said, right? So people are jumping on this bandwagon saying, "How dare she? How dare she trivialize rape and make rape jokes? Rape jokes are never funny." I can think of loads of funny rape jokes. Yeah. So I don't know what I'm talking about. Did I ever tell you about the time I saved a girl from getting raped?
No.
So anyway, the point is, leave Jennifer Lawrence alone.
Yeah, because she's got a classy.
Yeah.
She has a savage box.
She does, yeah.
That is definitely not making the cut.
Yes, it will, definitely. This is gold.
Monster.
No, hold on a minute. No.